friends, welcome to my channel Rinku HandCrafts. Today we are going to see how to make these beautiful granny squares. The pattern is really simple and it looks really beautiful, and you can use your scrap pieces of yarn for this project, and you can make so many different projects using these granny squares. I am going to make one big crochet bag out of these granny squares, so I hope you like it. Now shall we start? Now to start with our granny square, first I'll take this light blue color yarn for the center of the granny square, and I'll make one magic circle here. Now for magic circle, hold your yarn like this, twist it around your fingers, insert the hook in this cross, pull the yarn, and then again pull the yarn through this loop to make the center where we will work in our next rounds. And now here our magic circle is created. Now to start round 1, first we will make 3 chains here, 1, 2 and 3, and then in this magic circle we are going to make 15 double crochet stitches, and this chain pattern, this we are going to consider as one double crochet stitch. So in total it will be 16 double crochet stitches at the end of round 1. So I'll make my first double crochet stitch. For that, yarn over, insert your hook in the circle, pull the yarn. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, then pull the yarn from next 2 loops. Then again I'll show you, yarn over, insert your hook in the circle, pull the yarn from first 2 loops and pull the yarn from next 2 loops. Like this, make total 15 double crochet stitches, and once you are done with that, then meet me back at the end. And now here my 15 double crochet stitches are done. Now to close this circle or the center, just pull this loose end to close it or make it as small as possible, like this. And now we are going to complete this round 1 by doing slip stitch on top of this chain. Now for that, insert your hook below this V loop, the top chain from here, and now while doing this slip stitch we are going to change our yarn. Now I am going to take this milky white yarn and I will do the slip stitch with this new yarn. Now pull this white yarn to make a slip stitch like this. This is how you can smoothly change the yarn while doing your project, like this. Now you can cut this previous yarn. And now here my slip stitch is done here, like this. And now our round 1 is completed. So we have 15 double crochet stitches plus this chain pattern, so total we have 16 double crochet stitches in round 1. And now to start round 2, we will make chain 2 first. Now here in this loop we will make 1 double crochet stitch. Now for that, yarn over, insert your hook in that below that V loop, like this. And while doing these stitches I am also securing these loose ends. This is by far the best practice which I have came across while doing the granny squares, because you have too many loose ends if you are using so many color of yarns in one project. Now here I'll make my 1 double crochet stitch, and now this chain pattern plus 1 double crochet stitch we are going to consider as 1 double crochet stitch cluster. And now here in this next loop we will make 1 double crochet stitch cluster. So for that, yarn over, insert your hook below that V loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Don't make double crochet stitches fully, we are just doing it halfway, like this. Again yarn over, insert your hook in the same loop, pull the yarn. You have 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops and then pull the yarn from next 3 loops. So here we have our second double crochet stitch cluster. So once 2 clusters are done, then we'll make chain 1. And now here again in these 2 loops we are going to make 1 double crochet stitch cluster each. For that, yarn over, insert your hook in the V loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Again yarn over, insert your hook in the same loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, and then once you have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from 3 loops at once. and now we'll make one more cluster in this next loop. So after every 2 clusters we are going to make chain 1, like this. Once you have 3 loops, pull the yarn from 3 loops and now make chain 1. So like this, complete round 2 with making group of 2 clusters in different loops every time, and once you are done with that, then meet me back at the end. Now here I have made my last group of clusters and then I have chained 1. Now to complete round 2, I am going to make slip stitch on top of this first double crochet stitch that we did. So here with the same yarn we are going to make slip stitch this time, and then I use this little trick to hide this slip stitch or the extra loop. So for that, once you have done your slip stitch, just pull this loop, then insert your hook from behind in the same loop and then pull this slip stitch like this from behind, and then chain 1 to secure it, and now you can cut the yarn. This way you will not see the extra loop here. So either you can follow this or you can go with normal slip stitch and chain 1 to secure the yarn. And now for round 3 we are going to use different color of yarn. And now here you can see our center of the granny square is done. And now in round 2 you have total 16 double crochet stitch clusters and chain 1 in between every 2 clusters. We will start round 3 by inserting hook in any gap where we did chain 1. So I'll just insert my hook in this gap and then make a slip stitch with this new yarn here like this. Now to start round 3, make chain 4, 1 2 3 and 4, and then we are going to make treble crochet stitches in round 3. Now for that, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook in this gap, pull the yarn. Here you have 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, then pull the yarn from next 2 loops, and then pull the yarn from last 2 loops like this. Now again I'll show you. Yarn over 2 times, insert your hook in the same gap, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, then pull the yarn from next 2 loops, then pull the yarn from last 2 loops. So here like this. And now we are going to jump to this next gap and we are going to make 4 double crochet stitches here. So for that, here you can directly insert the hook, you don't need to make any chains in between. Make 4 double crochet stitches in the same gap. So in this round we are going to work in the gaps. Here like this, my 4 double crochet stitches are done. And now again we are going to jump to this next gap here after 2 clusters. Here we have the next gap, and here I am going to again make this pattern of treble crochet stitches, 3 treble crochet stitches. Now for that, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook in the gap, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, then pull the yarn from next 2 loops, and then pull the yarn from last 2 loops. I'll make 2 more treble crochet stitches here. And now as we had the round shape in round 2, now we are going to make it square shape. Now for that we are going to do the corner stitch here. Now for that, chain 2 and again do 3 treble crochet stitches in the same gap. And now after this corner stitch, we are going to jump to this next gap to make this middle pattern of 4 double crochet stitches. And then again in this next gap we are going to do this corner pattern, 3 treble crochet stitches, 2 chains and 3 treble crochet stitches. So like this, repeat this sequence and complete your round 3, and once you are done with that, then you can meet me back here at the end. Now I am here at the end of round 3 and I have done my last group of treble crochet stitch. Now to join this to our first group, I am going to make chain 2, as this is corner stitch, and now here on top of this chain I am going to make one slip stitch to complete our round 3. Here like this, and then to secure it I'll just make one more slip stitch in next loop, and then I'll just hide this slip stitch. And now here you can see now our project has taken the shape of square, and now we have got this beautiful corners here. And now we'll start round 4 with blue color yarn. Now to start round 4, again insert your hook in any of this corner gap and make a slip stitch here with this blue color yarn like this. Now make chain 3 here. This we are going to consider as one double crochet stitch, and now in this same loop make 3 double crochet stitches. This round is really simple and it is the last round for our granny square. Now here, now in total we have 4 double crochet stitches here, including this chain pattern. Now jump to this next gap here and make 4 double crochet stitches in this next gap without making any chains in between, because we don't want big gaps for our project. Then again jump to this next gap and make 4 double crochet stitches here. So for middle portion you are going to make 4 double crochet stitches in the gaps, and for corner pattern you are going to make 4 double crochet stitches, 2 chains and 4 double crochet stitches. It's that simple, the pattern. And now in this corner gap we are going to make 4 double crochet stitches. Then 2 chains and then 4 double crochet stitches in the same gap. And now jump to this next gap and make 4 double crochet stitch here. So like this, follow this sequence and complete your round 4, and once you are done with that, then meet me back at the end, and then we'll see how our granny square looks. And now here our beautiful granny square is ready. I hope you like this pattern. It's really simple and it looks really beautiful. In my next video I am going to make big crochet bag out of these granny squares. So don't forget to watch that, and I hope you like this video. If you like it, then please give big thumbs up. Please share my channel with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe it. Also click on the bell icon so you will get the notification of my videos as soon as I upload it. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you soon in the next one.